So, we are now at the end of a very long season with our final match day in the Scottish Premiership. Some longer seasons for other sets of fans than others, but it is our final day of the Scottish Premiership to predict. The only things left to do after now are the Scottish Cup final to be decided, along with the playoffs for who's going to be going up and down between some of the leagues as well. In terms of the Premiership fixtures this weekend, in some games there's something on the line, in most it's already been decided. So there's a couple of dead rubbers in here, a couple of games that do matter, but we're now at this stage where, you know, the split is shown for some that it is a little bit outdated. We have some teams in the bottom half that may finish on more points than teams in the top half. I think we do need a restructure and to get rid of the split in its current format overall, personally. But without further ado, let's get into our predictions for the final Scottish Premiership game of the season. Starting off with a game that does mean something, Dundee United against Aberdeen. Dundee United, if they win it, will not only secure Europe, but will actually finish a wee bit higher in the table than Aberdeen will, providing that they can win the game by 2 goals, since the goal difference is in their disadvantage at the moment, with Aberdeen being better off by 2. To be fair, if they did win by 1 goal and it being the same, I'm not actually too sure personally who would finish higher up, but they need to win it by 2 just to play it safe, let's say. They also really need to pick up something from the game to avoid a shock St Mirren result, seeing them out of Europe, in fairness. You know, in terms of the season as a whole, both sides, you know, if you'd offered them their finishes at the start of the season, I think both sets of supporters would have bit your hand off for that. But the way that it's panned out, with both sides potentially having that third place slot on lock at one point in the season and then going on disappointing runs, to not have that be the case, you know, a little bit of a sour taste in the mouth to end the season for both sides, I would say. In terms of this fixture though, Dundee United, at least Aberdeen, have managed to win a game post-split. So I'm going to go for them to pick up the result here and win 1-0, making it squeaky bum time for Dundee United should St Mirren potentially pick up the result. On to a game that means absolutely nothing in terms of league standings, but both teams might want to go out on a high, particularly Hibs at home for the final game of the season. But regardless of what happens in this game, Hibs have secured 3rd place, and Rangers, you know, 2nd place. Nothing to show for the season at all in terms of their success. Knocked out of the Scottish Cup by Queen's Park, beaten by Celtic in the League Cup final on penalties. A semi-decent European run, of course, that has to be said, as a bike speeds past there. I don't know if you picked that up, but a semi-decent European run, it has to be said, particularly when the draw was made. You didn't put it in their favour at all. A lot of uncertainty surrounding their future in terms of the management, but I think every Rangers fan will just tell you that they want this season to be over with, and a lot of this squad to be moved on with new players coming in. We'll see how the summer goes. It's obviously very important for Rangers to get a manager tied down, to get the deadwood out of the squad, to get new players that are going to improve into the squad, and get back challenging next season on as many fronts as possible. Whether that will happen remains to be seen, but I am going to go for Hibs to round off the season strongly here. Despite Rangers' strong performances in the past 2 games, I am going to go for a 2-1 Hibs win here. And on to our televised match of the weekend, Celtic against St Mirren. Trophy day at Celtic Park. St Mirren need to win if they have any hopes of finishing in the European places. Will that be enough though? I don't think it will, because Aberdeen needed to win to have any hope of finishing 3rd, and Celtic's B team sent them packing 5-1. I think Celtic will want to win, carry momentum into the Scottish Cup final, which they already are doing by beating Aberdeen so comfortably, but they'll want to win in front of their home fans on Trophy Day as well. Whether we see a team similar to what will start the Scottish Cup final, or we see a bit of rotation again, just like the game against Aberdeen, I don't know, but I am going to back Celtic to win this game in front of their fans 3-0. On to the custody of Derek McInnes game, if you like. Derek McInnes has stepped down as Kilmarnock boss for the final game of the season. I think it would have been awkward to manage against the team that you're going to be taking over in the summer. And there was kind of a lose-lose situation for Derek here. If he lost as Killie boss, he'd get a bit of stick, for saying that he lost to the team he was going to. If he took charge of Hearts for the final game and lost to Killie, it wouldn't look good at all. It is at Rugby Park. Hearts have been a wee bit resurgent under Liam Fox, but I am going to go for a 2-1 win to Kilmarnock since it is at Rugby Park, and a little bit of get that up you for stealing our manager, if you like. 2-1 win for Kilmarnock. Very important game for Ross County. A controversial last-minute penalty to send St Johnstone down has given Ross County a lifeline if they are able to pick up the win here and Dundee get beat. Then they have avoided the playoffs for the first time in 3 seasons. Can they do it? Motherwell have nothing to play for, so it is every chance that it will happen. But you know what? I'm going to go for the drama. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Ross County win in this game. And we have St Johnstone against Dundee. St Johnstone, of course, relegated in the last game day in the midweek. Dundee very nearly did the job for St Johnstone to take it to the final day, but the controversial penalty awarded at the end undone that. Do St Johnstone just lie down now to make Ross County have to play in the playoffs because of that incident? You know, or does St Johnstone end their 16-year stay in the Premiership on a high, looking for a win to potentially send Dundee down into the playoff spots? I'm going to go for a Dundee win here. I'm going to go 2-0, which will see Ross County finish in that playoff spot for the 3rd season running. And that's going to do it for our final Scottish Premiership prediction video of the season. The next time there'll be a Scottish Premiership video, I'll be doing the playoff match with whoever ends up having to play either Livingston or Partick Thistle. Obviously, the Scottish Cup final will get done as well. But after that, it'll probably be predicting the league finishes and stuff like that. I'm going to do a league prediction table for the very first time on the channel. How poorly it goes remains to be seen. It's apart from some positions in the league, it's very difficult to predict because European football teams are up and down all the time, so you never know. But I am going to do that when it comes to it. Thank you very, very much to all the new viewers and subscribers. We passed 4,000 subscribers today, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you very, very much. If you aren't subscribed, please consider checking out the content on the channel and subscribing if you are new around here, and I'll catch you in the next one.